Hi there, I'm X King. Welcome back to another episode of Review Films currently in theaters. And today we're looking at the new Haunted Mansion movie, Joy. So, Haunted Mansion is directed by Justin Simeon and written by Kate Dippold and stars Lakeith Stanfield as this kind of cynic who is also a specialist in ghost photography and is hired on by this mother-son duo played by Rosario Dawson and Chase Dillon respectively to kind of come to this mansion and help them see these ghosts that they know are there so they can figure out what's causing the mansion to be haunted so they can get all the ghosts gone, and that's the basic setup. Now, for those of you who do not know, the Haunted Mansion is a famous theme park ride in Disneyland and Disney World, and this is the second attempt to bring a story about the Haunted Mansion to the big screen. The first one was done with Eddie Murphy as the star, and it was god awful. This one does the Haunted Mansion part right. I mean, when we're focusing on our characters interacting with the ghost and dealing with them and the mansion as a whole, it does that well and does that right. When we're focusing on our character bits and the character conversations, the film gets very rough very quickly. Oh, dear Lord. So, yeah. You know how there are certain movies that will just have characters sit around in a circle and explain their background and why they think the way they do? This film does that a lot. And I don't get it. You're a movie. Show. Don't tell. You do not have to have characters just explain their background out of nowhere and the reason why they're feeling the way they're feeling. You can just show us what's going on and we can understand and relate to the characters that way. That is the better way of doing it. Don't have your characters just sit around in a circle and explain everything. Don't. This isn't helped by the fact that the characters are not interesting. None of these characters are developed well. And they're just not good people for the most part. They really don't feel like people. They feel like characters that came out of the blue and just stuck in this movie and there's just no reason. Sorry, I really am frustrated because this is an easy movie. You just have to get half-decent characters with a decent cast, which this film does have, and focus on the Haunted Mansion part of the Haunted Mansion story, and not have your characters sit around in a circle explaining their feelings and why they are feeling them. You don't need that in this particular movie. Now, as I said, the cast is quite impressive, and for the most part, everyone does a pretty good job. Lakeith Stanfield, Rosario Dawson, Chase Dillon are fantastic as our main three. Their three side characters, played by Owen Wilson, Tiffany Haddish, and Danny DeVito, are all really good, and they all perform their characters admirably. They're not given a ton of good material to work with, but hey, they're all doing the best they can with what they have. Then you have Jared Leto as our big bad ghost, the Hat Ghost, as he's referred to in the ride, and he does a surprisingly good job. His voice is really booming and fits the feel of the Haunted Mansion ride. I think my only complaint as far as the performance is concerned is Jamie Lee Curtis as Madame Leota. And oh my god, is she hamming it up like crazy for this. You know, if she just dialed it down a little, this would have worked probably, but she just hammed it up so much it really felt goofy and over the top and stupid. Then you have the visuals, and though these aren't the best CGI visuals I've seen, they're not bad by any definition of the word, and the production design of the mansion itself and the rest of New Orleans that we get to see is pretty good for the most part. I would say if this film had a better story and better characters, it probably would have been right up there with some of the better haunted movie special effects that we've seen. Then we have the music, and it's not bad either. I mean, this film takes place in New Orleans, so we get a lot of jazz tones, which fits perfectly for the Haunted Mansion. I really liked the score here. It's just a shame that the story and characters are so bad. Oh, God. This film is such a waste of potential. We had a decent cast, not the worst setup, but the execution is so poor here that the film is just bland. At the end of the day, Haunted Mansion is meh. It's not terrible. It is really not. It's just not good either. So I'm going to give Haunted Mansion a 5 out of 10. Now, if you're a big fan of the ride and you've always wanted to see a adaptation of the story brought to the screen, watch Muppets Haunted Mansion on Disney+. Don't watch this one. But if you really want to see one in theaters, I guess you could watch this one again. It's perfectly fine, and when it's doing the Haunted Mansion part, it's really not that bad at all. But just don't go into it expecting a good amount of character and a story that isn't muddled down by a terrible execution. Anyway, that's what I thought about Haunted Mansion. What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time.